Welcome to this Killick Explains video, and welcome to number 2 in my Key Investing Skills series. And the investing skill I want to remind you of this time, I have talked about it before, is patience. So a quick recap on what I said at the start of video 1, which is all about visualization if you missed it. Top investors think a certain way, they develop core skills, and they do so by practicing. So they're consistent, all right? And that consistency can be damaged or destroyed through impatience. And what I mean by that, pretty obviously, is we do tend to want results now. And social media and the internet means we suffer from fear of missing out the whole time. And investors do. They read a story, a hot stock, oh, maybe I should get on my app and buy that. Newspaper headlines, bad news, interest rates gone up, inflation's out of control, ooh, quick sell. And this is no good, right? This is impatient reactions, if you like. So we tend to do things which are frankly damaging to our portfolio. We react to news, as I just mentioned. We do panic sell when we shouldn't. We don't really put proper plans together because it's easier to wing it. Planning's a bit boring. It takes effort to think through a budget, a cash flow forecast, lifetime planning, all that stuff. We flip investments, because you can. Push of a button. Don't even have to ask anybody. And we've all done it. I'm not perfect. We blame others when it goes wrong. Right, it's someone else's fault. And that, by the way, those 5 things I've just mentioned could, it is said, explain the performance gap. And the performance gap is the fact that over similar time periods, retail investors do tend to underperform institutional ones. And they shouldn't, all right, but they do. And some of those human failings, that impatience I've just mentioned, is thought to be part of the explanation. I mean, there are others, like costs, for example, I get that. But the way we behave is incredibly important in terms of making long-term sustainable gains. So we need patience, all right? Investing, as a Nobel Prize winner once put it, should be like watching paint dry, okay? Or as Terry Smith put it, buy the right stocks, don't pay too much for them, and then wait, relax, basically. Warren Buffett, the legendary US investor and fund manager, is famously patient. He talks about risk not being that shares go down as well as up this week, next week, but it's behavioral. Shares will go down as well as up. Guarantee that. That is life. That is the price you pay for returns. But what goes wrong is how people react to that, not the fact it happens, if that makes sense. So they don't know enough about it and then they behave the wrong way. So how can we be a bit more patient? Okay, well, here are a few obvious tips, but they're worth recapping, I think. Don't be a news junkie. And by news, I mean physically picking up a paper, turning on a website, checking an app, paying too much attention to what's on the tube billboards. Set a strategy and try and stick to it. Be disciplined about planning. Yeah, planning is really important. We've talked about the 3 buckets, talked about the importance of cash flow modeling, talked about the importance of revisiting a plan, but do it systematically. Don't churn, don't over-check your portfolio. Here's my next top tip, if you like. Try and avoid the madness of crowds. That's that temptation to hear a story in the pub and react to it without thinking. Okay, it's looking at a story on Bloomberg or Reuters and going, okay, how can I capitalize on that? And not really putting the right amount of thought into your reaction. And finally, do ask for help. Ask friends, ask family, ask an advisor. Yeah, but don't make big investment decisions without checking first. Now, if you'd like to know more about what is quite a big topic and some of these behavioral biases I've started to hint at there, various places you can go. Killick.com/learn has a comprehensive library. Then there's editor@killick.com for a copy of, for example, How to Invest in Equities, sitting next to me. That can be sent out easily enough. And it's also editor@killick.com if you'd like a copy of the quarterly magazine that I edit called Confidant.